Want help to grow your business? Download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.
Hello everyone, once again welcome to another episode of Teach Me Tech. This is the show where we take a look at new, sometimes complex ideas and tools online, and we break them down, make them as simple as possible for you to implement into your very own business. My name is Kvist. This lovely lady is Laurel Gray from GetDigitalFlow.com. Hi Laurel.
Hi Pete.
Now Laurel joins us, regular viewers, I should say, not watchers of Teach Me Tech would know Laurel. You've seen her before. She comes in and helps me out with a few bits and pieces and helps teach me tech on some of these shows, which is kind of cool. Today's episode is a pretty exciting one. This will revolutionize your business if it's something that you are not implementing already. It's how to get started with Dropbox. And Dropbox is cloud-based storage for your business and something which every business should at least understand, and hopefully most of you actually already use. So there's two quick things before we get underway as per usual. First of all, I want you to follow along at home. Grab your favorite little IKEA dressing table and style it with a green t-shirt and follow along as you can.
And a Swedish man.
And a Swedish man with glasses. And you can follow along. Just follow along what we do here in the studio and you can get started as well today. And number two is ask and share. If you have any questions or want to get involved in the conversation online, use your favorite social media platform and the hashtag #TeachMeTech. Well, what are we going to cover today, Laurel?
What aren't we going to cover?
Well, let's go through the list, shall we? First of all, what is Dropbox and why you should consider it for your business? Always a good place to start. What are some of the alternatives to Dropbox? Choosing the right type of account, free, premium, or business. A quick guide to getting started using Dropbox in your business. How to download and install the Dropbox application. How to best set up your file and folder structure to save long-term headaches. How to add your first files to Dropbox and what to do next. How to share files with people either within or outside your organization. And finally, expert tips to get the most from Dropbox in your business today. So without further ado, let's get started. So first things first, Laurel, what is a Dropbox and why should people consider using it in their business?
Well, look, we're going to talk about it next, but there are tons of options in the marketplace for file storage. And as a business owner, you've got to consider, what are you going to do with all of the myriad of files in the business? So basically, Dropbox is a software application that installs onto your computer and allows you to sync files from your desktop to the cloud. So it can go in reverse. Anything that you've already got stored in the cloud can be synced back to your computer. And you can also selectively sync. So you can have certain folders that allow you to just keep them in the cloud and actually choose to not sync them to your computer or device.
So some people might ask, is this something to replace a server in a business?
It depends on your kind of business, of course, but let's say you're a service-based business and you're providing consulting services, for example. Certainly Dropbox could replace what a server used to do maybe 5 or 10 years ago.
Great. A good place to store files, folders, documents. Is there any limitation on what you can store in Dropbox?
You can store anything you want to, as long as it's digital. Now, of course, the file storage capacity is the only thing that comes into play, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. So large files, you have to consider, how are you going to actually get them to the cloud, and do you have enough space?
Great. So I know we're going to go through some cool stuff here. We want to talk about what are some of the alternatives to Dropbox. And I did touch on it just before with regards to a server. You know, if you're in a larger organization and you need a computer with processing power to operate between all the users, then a server is the option that you would need. But that would be a larger business. If you're a smaller business and you're just working with a smaller team, this is obviously when Dropbox really has the most punch, the most effect. But what are some of the other alternatives to Dropbox? What are some of the things that people might hear in the same conversation where they're trying to choose between the different different things?
Yeah, that's a great question. And first of all, I'd like to say that Dropbox is often chosen as sort of a first initial contact into cloud file storage because of the really low barrier to entry involved. As you'll find out, it's quite easy to get started. Some of the other alternatives that you might see are Google Drive, which is, of course, if you've been watching Peter Moriarty's Google Made Easy, it's actually linked in directly with Google Apps for Work. So you do have to get that as part of a paid subscription. You might also have Amazon Web Services. You might actually use your own hard disk to store stuff off-site, for example. What else?
Yeah, people might be using an external hard drive in their office to store files. This is a great way. And the reason I like something like a Dropbox solution is because if you've got something stored on your hard drive in the office and that fails, which guilty, yes, it has happened to us, you lose all those files unless they're backed up. But if you've got something backed up to the cloud with something like Dropbox, then they have their own redundancies in place so that you won't lose those files, even if they have one particular drive where your content is stored. If that goes down, it's stored in multiple places so that they can just replace a backup copy for you. So it's a far more secure way to store files so that you're not going to lose them in the case of, say, an extreme sort of event. If someone drops the hard drive, if you have some sort of catastrophe with the business, you'll lose the files. The other thing is, of course, it's in the cloud, so it's available anywhere. And even before we came on the air, your comment to me about business was?
I can run it from anywhere.
Because it's in the cloud, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's the great thing. If you can move your business, the more you can move your business to the cloud, the more mobile your business becomes, the more nimble your business becomes, and you can also become a little bit more lightweight to compete with other organizations that maybe don't have that flexibility that you would give yourself.
Yes, absolutely. And also the fact that you can access tools like Dropbox from any device. So you can be on your computer or you can be out with a customer, for example, in a meeting on a tablet or on your mobile phone, and have that ability to attach documents or share documents on the go using Dropbox or a Google Drive.
Cool. So that is one more alternative to Dropbox. I know that a lot of people are looking at this too, and we have one of those implemented here within our studio. Is called a NAS drive. So it's basically like, it's not as quite as heavy duty as a server, but it's somewhere where you can store your files in one place that is accessible by everyone in your organization. But even though we have that drive, we also sync that into the cloud as well so that we have our redundancy that way too. Then if you need fast access to files, as Laurel said, you can sync all your files with Dropbox in the cloud, which is great because then you can access them immediately. But sometimes you might not want to clutter your own computer up with the files that you sync to something like Dropbox. And so you have to download them every time you need to use them. So for some people, you might need that intermediate step to store files also.
Yep.
Makes sense, doesn't it? Okay, so choosing the right type of account with Dropbox, free, premium, or business. Well, Laurel, you know what I'm going to say first of all, don't you?
I'm finding it hard to predict what you're about to say, Pete.
I always start with
Oh, yeah.
free.
The free.
Everything's better when it's free, right? It's free. Why not? So get started with the free Dropbox account, which is exactly where I started. And there's some options there where if you share Dropbox, you can actually increase your storage. And there's some cool things like that, which is great. But if you just want to dip your toes in the water and find out how it works and whether or not this can be something that could be integrated into your business, the free account is the way to start. But there are other options. There are premium accounts, business accounts. Laurel, do you want to take us to the website, show us around and maybe walk through a few of those?
Absolutely. Let's actually go to Dropbox.com. I'll run you guys through the homepage and show you where you can find out more information about pricing because they don't really make it so transparent.
No, and I think that's probably because also they work off the model whereby they want you to come in at the free level and figure out, I do have some more needs for it, and they solve those problems by adding premium products. So it's actually it's a great business model.
It's true. So if you head over to your computer and have a look at Dropbox.com, you see they've got a really cute little landing page. You know I'm all about the illustrations, right? happy paper
She was
filed
singing
away.
about
Oh my
the
gosh.
illustrations before.
I wrote a little song. I'll share it with you guys later if you want.
Thank you.
Now, of course, there's the sign up information, and we'll get to that really soon. But if you scroll all the way to the bottom of the page, going through some of the basic features of Dropbox, and you get to the bottom, they do have on the left-hand side here an area for plans. Now, they're always changing the navigation, so this might be different if you view this in a few months' time. As well as the pricing plans might change. So just so you know, they are testing out different models with Dropbox all the time. So if you do go to the pricing plans page, you see that they have a basic version, which gives you up to 2 gigabytes of space, a Pro version with up to 1 terabyte of space, and then Dropbox Business, which gives you as much storage as you need. That means unlimited storage.
And I don't even see like a little asterisk there. I'm sure there is an asterisk with regards to that account, but yeah, this is something which is fairly new to Dropbox. Maybe when you watch this episode, it's not so fairly new, but cloud storage is evolving so quickly. You can probably expect what you see on your screen when we just showed the screen capture there is probably not what is going to be offered when you boot up your computer and the Dropbox website. But never fear, we just want to let you know what's available right now.
Yep, exactly. And you will notice the prices as well. They're in Australian dollars, so certainly if you're in the US or in another country, you'll experience those in your local currency. And now, how do you actually choose between these? I'm just going to go back to Pete's default answer, which is really to start with the free, and then upgrade to Pro, and then continually upgrade to Business when you're ready to get that unlimited storage.
Because if you start with the free plan and you do want to upgrade to Pro or to Business, there's going to be no hassles. It's just like expanding it out. So it doesn't matter if you start small and you want to grow out. You don't have to re-upload your files or do anything like that. It's just as simple as purchasing or upgrading the original account that you have, and you'll have access to those features straight away.
Yep.
I think it's a good deal too, but that's up for you to decide in your business. And hopefully through today's episode, you'll have a more clear picture on whether or not Dropbox is right for you. So that is the very bare bone basics of Dropbox. Do you want to join us after the break?
I might still be here, yeah.
Okay, fingers crossed. We'll come back and we'll take a quick guide to getting started using Dropbox in your business. You're watching Teach Me Tech. That's Laurel Gray. I'm Pete Kvist. We'll see you back in a minute. Welcome back. You are watching Teach Me Tech. My name is Pete Kvist. This is the wonderful Laurel Gray from getdigitalflow.com. This is the second part of the 3 parts of today's episode, all about getting started with Dropbox. Dropbox cloud-based storage solutions. Whew, that's a bit of a mouthful. So what we're going to take a look at now is a quick guide to getting started using Dropbox in your business. Now, before we get into that, Laurel, during the break, we were kind of flicking around the Dropbox website because things always change and you may not see what we...
To continue enjoying this presentation, download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.